meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I look back in my musical preferences, and Janet Jackson has been, I mean, you've been there for 20 years. I mean, what do you do to stay on the top of the lists? What's the trick?
I think it's just being true to yourself. At least that's the way that I see it. I don't like to try and you know, I hear people use the word reinvent, and how do you do that? It's not a, it's about doing what I feel in my gut and my heart.
You said at a certain point, as an article that you said that it can seem like you have everything, but you can still be sad.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that?
Yeah.
Do you said that?
Yeah.
Can you explain it a little bit?
A lot of people in the world, they see, you know, they see all the cameras and the lights. It's all glamorous. They feel you'd make a ton of money, and lots of people look up to you and put you on a pedestal, and you get to travel the world, and you have all these things, from all these material things, really, and that's really what they're focusing on. But that doesn't, it shouldn't validate a person. It shouldn't, you have to be happy. That can just come and go as quickly as God has given you that. He can take it away. Because after the applause dies, after the fans stop screaming, then what? Are you going to go into drugs? Are you going to commit suicide? I mean, it really is about, and some artists do. It really, that some artists cannot take it. It's too difficult of a road being in this business.
Do you love who you are today?
No.
No, you don't.
I like who I am. I like very much. And I used to not like who I was. I like who I am very, very much. I like me. I'm working on learning to love me. That's my next little soul search for myself. I think it's hard for a lot of people in this business. I mean, it's tough, and the things that you're asked to do, and the hours that you keep, and as hard as you work, it's a lot, especially from when you're younger. It's a great strain.
When you see Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, do you recognize anything of yourself in them at the time, like in the beginning of your career?
Maybe Britney's quietness in the beginning. It's a little different now.
Yeah, definitely. It's taken a real twist.
Yeah, but see, once again, it's like, you know, who are we to judge? We don't know what's really going on in her life. Only she truly does. And hopefully it's not as bad as they're making it out to be. And if it truly is, you know, you just wish her the best, and hopefully she'll get through it. I've read where she and Christine have talked about how I've inspired them. And when I first saw them perform, I just enjoyed them for what they were. Enjoyed them. They were young females singing and dancing. And my friends would say, you know, they're emulating you. I was like,
yeah.
My boyfriend and I were having this conversation the other night. And, you know, it's like one big circle. There's really nothing new that anyone ever truly creates. It's already been done before. It's just a matter of trying to find a different way to do it or to present it. Once again, it's all inspiration.
Your new album, a lot of sex in there. There's so much sex in you.
I think God sometimes just made me a little different than he did most people. But, you know, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. No. My parents have 9 kids. Yeah. So there has to be a little bit of freak in them somewhere. I'm going to tell Mother that.
You're pulling the scotch away now.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe that's your mother out there.
No, because she'll come to the show and she'll say, baby, do you know, the last tour, which we didn't bring to Europe, and I strapped this guy down in a contraption. I kind of crawl all over him by the end of the song, and I'm on top of him.
Oh my God!
And she said, "Baby, do you have to do that in your show?" And I said, "Why, Mother?" She goes, "Because it's so just sexual." And she goes, "But the crowd likes it, don't they?" I said, "Yeah, and I do too." I mean, I asked them to take her to the bathroom actually the first night she came when that part came on, and they did. And then she heard that there was slow music, And then she heard the crowd starting to scream, but she didn't hear me singing. And security told me, she said, "What's my baby out there doing? I know she's being nasty." So, so she knows.
You were in Sweden, you've been there a few times,
Yeah.
and you met my colleague Christian Luuk at his show, and he kissed your stomach. You remember that?
Yes, I did.
Want to?
May I?
What about my arm?
I'm not
My
gonna miss it.
stomach?
No, I'm not gonna. Oh, that's a. May I?
How did that feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. There's been tons written about Nipplegate, and even Sweden got affected, actually. So we saw your nipple. How did that happen?
How did what happen?
How did it come out?
You know, I don't talk
Your
about
breast.
it anymore.
Oh, you don't?
I really don't, because I put it behind me.
Yeah.
And, you know, people are going to think what they want, especially in America. And I'm not trying to change people's minds. I've already said what I needed to say, and I've gone beyond, I feel, what I've even needed to do or should have done. But I did it purely out of the goodness of my heart. And if they don't want to accept that, then...
Ja, intervjun med Janet Jackson den fortsätter alldeles strax. Och då ska hon berätta om sin önskan att få barn och om brodern Michael. Missa inte det, helt ärligt, alldeles strax. Vi är vidare. Ja, välkomna tillbaka till Helt ärligt. Familjen Jackson, de är vana vid påhopp och rykten i media. Men pedofilanklagelserna mot brodern Michael, det berörde Janet Jackson väldigt djupt.
Well, today, Michael's going through some rough time. Are you still very close?
Close with my entire family.
How has this whole affair affected you? How do you feel when you
It
read all
bothers
this?
me. I don't really read it that much anymore because it's all BS. And it bothers me because he's my brother and I love him. They'll continue. They have nothing better to do. Nothing better to do. It helps them to focus, take the focus off of their own lives and the drama that goes on into it. I mean, it's tough. It's very tough, but we're a tough family, and we're very strong. And our heritage alone is very strong as a people, and we've overcome other obstacles, and this is just another obstacle that we will definitely overcome.
You think he's always going to be like your brother, you know, always be tight?
Yeah, that's his role. I'm his baby sister. That's my role. You know, I'm that way with all my brothers and sisters. We're not as close as we used to be when we were kids, but our lives are different. I mean, we worked then, but we didn't live in the same. We lived in the same house, and we don't now. And it's just, you know, there are differences. So, but we're still close.
And nothing will change that, I think.
I don't think so.
Is there anything you regret in your career or in your life?
No. Everything happens for a reason, I truly do believe, and God wants you to experience everything for a reason. If I hadn't experienced the bad, I wouldn't know what it feels like when the good came along. And vice versa. And it's all made me who I am today. And I like who I am. Like I told you before, now I'm working on loving myself.
Why do you think it's hard to love yourself?
Oh, it's a lot. You don't have enough time, let me tell you. No, it truly is a lot. A lot of things happened, and I experienced a lot of pain. Aside from the pain that comes with being a teenager, I experienced other pain on top of that as a teenager.
Have you gone to therapy to talk about this, or are you planning to do that?
I have a friend. He's like a cowboy. And when I was going through this whole period in my life, because I went through depression, and he helped me a great deal. I used to suppress a lot of things all the time. When I felt pain, I used to suppress it and move on, so I wouldn't feel it or do something to take away that. Thank God. I think that's when a lot of entertainers get into drugs and drinking and all that stuff, and thank God I never did that. I never did that, so I'm happy about that.
How did you notice that you like now I'm in a depression. What were the signs for you?
Aside from like crying all the time, not wanting to get out of bed, you know, just being in this very dark space. You can be in a room and feeling like you're trapped and just wanting to get out but yet can't. There were times when I wanted to speak and people would talk to me and yet I couldn't say anything. And that's just how much pain I was in. And there's so much that I wanted to say, but I just didn't know where to begin. And it was just, it's tough when I think about it. But, you know, everyone goes through it. I feel that everyone goes. If you don't keep pushing it away, it comes back to haunt you, and maybe you push it away for the rest of your life. But I think it's shown to us for a reason. That's why I have this tattoo.
Yeah, you have a tattoo on your wrist.
From the Sankofa tribe. It means to walk into your past and deal with it in order to move on into the future. So I look at it and I love this tattoo because it will never ever let me forget.
And you're feeling you're on the right track now.
My life has changed, yeah, definitely.
Have you thought of children?
I never thought, being in my last relationship, that I would have children. Life was just really different for me then, especially, and now I've thought about it a little bit. We'll just have to see what happens. You know, they say you can never make time, you just got to do it. There was a time when I wanted 10 kids.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But not anymore?
I don't know what I was thinking. But then, thank God, I never got started. Because I would probably have 10 kids today. It's different, though, yeah, growing up in a big family. Even though I had a lot of fun, it's hard to devote all the attention. And they all need attention and love, and also love yourself and also, you know, your spouse. So to be able to give, that's a lot of giving. And that's hard on a daily basis. And I don't know if there's really enough to go around, so I think having a smaller family is actually better.
So 10 is no way.
That'll never happen. Hi, this is Janet, and you're watching Helt Ärligt with... Okay, take two. Hi, this is Janet, and you're watching Helt Ärligt with Linda Newberry.
Oh, thank you. That's lovely. That was difficult.
Thank you.
Newberry, det lät snyggare än Nyberg tyckte jag. Ja, Janet berättar ju att hon själv kanske inte haft en så lätt barndom. Vi har pratat om barn som har växt upp i sekter här ikväll på Mosebacke. Och Daniel, du har hoppat av Jehovas vittnen nyligen. Men du har startat en egen förening, kan du berätta?